Hello everyone, my name is Sinic and I'm here to talk about and analyze the new character of Dragon Ball Z Fighters, or Fighter Z, Majin Android 21, or Majin 21, however you like to call her. She's still an awesome new character. So Majin 21, or Majin Android 21, is actually the android that we used to see right here. As you can see, the android here is the one that they've been releasing as the plot point of the story mode in Dragon Ball Z Fighters. But now we got this, and holy shit, do I like what I am seeing. Finally, we get to see a female Majin outside of Xenoverse 2. Well, with no further ado, let's talk about more in depth of what is to come with this character and what can we expect from it. So Majin 21 is one of the most interesting characters who have popped out. She is the last member of the DBFZ character roster. She's been shown off by Shonen Games magazine, and as you can see, she has quite the unique look. She has that hair going for her. Oh my god, do I freaking love it. I love her design. I love her clothing. For the way they have her, what do they call it, that piece, that model they present to you as the character's image. Oh my god, is it amazing. I love it. That staple. She looks so menacing, but at the same time looks so attractive. She looks like something you want to pick up this character and start wrecking the shit out of your opponent while looking good while doing it. It is amazing. I love it. As you can see, she also has something that most people are not catching on, that she also has a tail. You would have thought that as a female Majin, her hair would not be comprised of actual hair, like Majin Buu and every other iteration of Buu, and also, as you can have seen back in Dragon Ball Online and Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you would have thought her hair would have been just artificial, made out of the same structure, the same composition as the rest of her body, which is that gum-like pink goo or pink gum, So, instead of that, it's actually made of real hair. It turns white. It changes from her last brown hair as a normal android, and when she turns to a Majin, it somehow turns to this, what it seems to be a grayish pink or whitish pink, a very bleached pink. And also, to represent that Majin look, she has those pants, those very baggy pants, the golden pieces around her neck, her waist, her earrings are also made of gold, her wristbands are also made of gold. She represents all that. But as we were saying, yes, she has a tail. It represents that little tail, or that long tail Super Buu had, which all Majins have in the canon iteration. Her eyes also turn to this black death within it, that black void, with its iris made of red, blood red, just like Kid Buu, just like Super Buu, giving that demonic look into her face. I will add, I'm not quite sure, but I think she might have a fang or two in this little picture over here, where you can see her just having her mouth open, just grinning away as she blasts her opponent. Overall, I love her look. She looks amazing. I would really want to pick her up just because of how she looks. She's aesthetically pleasing to me. I like characters, especially female characters with abundant hair, which especially when it looks that wild and fiery. Oh yeah, can't wait to wreck shit up and look amazing. Now back to what I was talking about her tail. So we all noticed that she has a tail, so I'm assuming that she's also going to be fighting with the tail. The tail is going to be part of her moveset. So if I were to say maybe her overhead involves something similar to Frieza's overhead in Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is she just front flips forward and hits the opponent with the tail, which creates an overhead and gives you an opening when they're guarding low. Or it can be just like Frieza again, that she can use it for a long reach attack for longer reaches. So that way she can attack you from afar and maybe whiff punish you easier. This type of gameplay is actually really good against characters who have a lot of reach or have even shorter reaches than you, because it will always give you an advantage and easier to punish them, or it's easier for you to get in without sacrificing any of your defenses, so you wouldn't have to risk anything. So the good things about this is, if this is actually how I speculated, that is actually a tail for advantage, then you can use it against characters like Trunks, who uses a sword. Most characters with weapons, especially that are swords, staffs, and such, they have a playstyle most similar to being that mid-range character or that longer reach character with really amazing speed, so it's kind of hard to get in with a character that doesn't have a weapon. So just like Frieza, she might use that as an advantage to balance things out. It also, you can use the tail, to smack the shit up your opponents, Maybe you can go, why have a tail and not be able to use it, Just trash your opponent, hit them with your tail. Make them respect you for the magnificence that you are. Learn a thing or two about Frieza. Vegeta learned the hard way. I must also say that in this same picture, we can see her powering up. This might be either a moveset about her, or maybe that's just part of her intro, because most characters like Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Kid Buu, Cell, they power up right before the match, and it's like the intro. Like Cell just goes like, well, very awesome and then you see that aura. It seems that her aura represents the colors of the Red Ribbon Army, which are red and black, which is actually really cool. I actually like that aura color. It looks so freaking menacing. I actually am quite intimidated by this. The only thing that has intimidated me in aura like this has been the green aura of Broly and the pink-black aura of Goku Black Rose. Over here we can see that her trait is that she can absorb the powers or some traits of some characters. As we can see here, we have her doing what seems to be the solar flare of Krillin. If this is the case, then you might finally have this Kirby character in a traditional fighting air dasher game, which is really cool. However, for me, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this, if it is actually how we are interpreting, because I like new characters to have their own thing. I don't like them copying off other characters, even though this is actually quite unique on its own, because copying attacks from your opponent's characters can actually throw them off, and it can give you an advantage, especially if instead of just replacing your attack, it adds more to your move list. But then again, I don't know how overpowering that would be in terms of gameplay. We can also see that she has this command grab in which she grabs the opponent, and then right after, she seems to blast them. as you can see, against 16. I don't know if we're interpreting that right. It does look kind of blurry, but if it is, that is very savage. I love it. Very brutal attacks. Those are my kind of stuff. I love evil characters just because of that. You just start trashing your opponent and mocking them every step of the way. And talking about brutal attacks, we got this, what seems to be one of her supers, which could be this black and red beam of destruction, of the apocalypse, of everything that the world considers doom. What I mean here is, this ain't no game. This is the real shit. You are dead. That should be the name of the attack. You are dead. Because it looks like you're going to be dead after you're blasted by this blood-colored blast. It looks amazing. She also seems right here, right under it, that she can turn people into candy just like Boo. I feel like this could be like maybe one of her finishes, maybe a dramatic finish, or maybe that's just her outro. As an outro, it does look kind of cute. As you can see, she has that face, she's smiling, and she just turned you into, candy. But maybe they could have ended it with something more dialogue-ish. Well, this is all speculation right now, so we can have to take that with a grain of salt. So let's just hope for the best. Maybe it's actually better than I think. Maybe it's not. Tell me what you think. Over here we can see a picture of her as a human, as an android, I don't know what she is anymore. But as her base form, as we saw in the game, I feel like I've seen this picture. I've seen that scene before, and if I did, they were already hinting that she could transform. But for me, at that moment when I saw this, or I feel like I saw this, I feel like when I saw it, it was just like some kind of power up, or she was just like showing off her power, threatening you, or just saying, oh, you don't know what kind of shit you're gonna get into. But it looks amazing, as it looks kind of blurry here, but just even the blur looks beautiful. I love the particles I'm seeing there, even though there are a lot missing because we're missing pixels. And in these last 3 pictures, we can see more of her attitude, and it seems that she is quite the disturbed person. Over here at the right, we can see that she doesn't seem that happy, but on the left, she looks like she's actually very pleased with what she's doing. If I know Arc System, they're gonna make this woman hella crazy as in personality, and if they do, I'm okay with it. Hey, Arc System created Blaze Blue, and from Blaze Blue came New 13, and I love New 13 as a character. She's crazy. I love her innuendos, and while she fights, it's hilarious. At the same time, it is very pleasing as a character because she's very unique. And they have this in most of their games. They always have this crazy chick who is immensely strong. Why not make this Majin crazy? She obviously has more of a capacity of intellect than Majin Buu has. Well, what I mean by that is that she has a more vast vocabulary, and she obviously is a scientist, so you get what I mean. Over here we see her doing another big ball of death, which I'm guessing is another of her supers. And right at the left, we can see what seems to be like a victory pose as well. I'm not quite sure, though, because it looks kind of vague there, but I feel that might be like her ending pose after a level 3, maybe? Or maybe that's the start? I'm not sure, but it looks pretty nice. I can't wait to get my hands on the game and unlock her, because if I know Arc System, she's going to be that unlockable character, which is locked at the beginning. You have to pass, you need to defeat the story mode, and once you do, you unlock her, and then you finally can use her. However, if you don't want to go through the hassle, they for a small amount of cash, you can unlock her without having to do the story mode. You know, if you want to go the easy way, you just pay. If you want to go and really feel like you unlocked her, you go out and do the story mode. I don't judge, nobody will. So, let's move on. Now I'm gonna speculate on what might be her background story. Well, not the whole background story, or just why she's a Majin. I have maybe 2 theories. Maybe. So, the first theory is that as an android, she might have had the same privileges as Cell, that she has cells from other characters, but maybe her cells are quite related to those of Majin Buu, since that was the strongest character, the strongest villain that the whole Earth, as in the whole Earth, has experienced and knows about. And she was given these cells as in the moment that was the strongest being on Earth, which is why she doesn't have, maybe she doesn't have the cells of Beerus. If she does, holy shit, I don't know how that's gonna affect her, because, you know, a Majin God of Destruction, that's a bit overboard. God of Destruction destroys. A Majin destroys. So, just complete an utter carnage? The other theory that could be what I believe could be is that she somehow attained the form by stealing the powers of Buu, or just, you know, experimenting on herself. That would be quite the edgy story there as well, because, you know, it takes a lot of effort for you to just start randomly experimenting yourself with somebody else's cells. You don't know what's gonna come out of it. But if not that, I really don't know, because it for me, an android that turns into a Majin, you know, that's a really far off like species. Like, androids are supposed to be these enhanced humans, as we can see with Android 17 and 18, and then you somehow get Android 21. You think she's just gonna fight you in that form, or she might not be a fighter and she might just be some android that just carries on the work of Dr. Gero. But no, apparently she somehow turns to a Majin. I really can't wait to see how that develops. But I'm just happy that a character like this appeared, because it really just brought all the eyes towards Dragon Ball fighters. Like, that caught all of our attention. The design, the idea of it, it was just out of this world. As a fighting style, I believe that this character is going to be quite aggressive, with a bit of trickster moves, now that we know that she might be able to steal attacks from other characters, such as the Solar Flare, or maybe Goku's Kamehameha, or the Galactic Donut. You never know. So, as a trickster, she's gonna be quite hard to predict. You can only predict it as the player yourself. As she steals your attacks, you know what's coming from her once you understand her. But then you also need to worry about her own attacks, her own moveset, her own combos, and along with that, if she does add and does not just replaces attacks, it just adds more material, more items, more options for her to take you down. So it's gonna be quite that hard character to defend against. So increase your blocking game, though I believe that just with a bit of tweaking and a bit of practicing, you'll get used to her. However, I do feel like she could be a quite damaging character once she gets in on you and attacks you in a positive game. So in other words, keep your guard up. Also, her finishers look like they're mostly one directional. As we can see here, they all seem to go towards a straight line. Maybe this will change, but as of now, I believe they all go a straight line. They don't seem to be aerial. If they are, that would actually be better for her, because I feel like just added to the craziness. And if so, since they only go one direction and on a horizontal plane, it means that you only need to worry the moment that she's right in front of you. And also, you have to be very worrying as her attacks are more likely to connect with her combos. So save up that spark. Well guys, that was my analysis, that was my breakdown, and that's what I think of this new Majin character. Majin Android 21, or just Majin 21, however you like to call her. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. She's awesome. I love her design. I love what they've done with her aesthetics, and I really can't wait to get my hands on her. Like, I can't wait to pick her up, start comboing with her, understanding her mechanics, and also understanding that power stealing, because I thought they were only gonna do that with Ginyu, since he already, changes bodies. But I guess if Ginyu is more like, start practicing with Ginyu and that's how you could win. But for her, you don't get that chance, so we'll see. The worst I could believe that could happen is that she can only do this when she takes down one of your characters with a specific attack, and she steals that attack and adds it to her, which makes her stronger every time she defeats a character with that move. I doubt they're gonna do that, but if they do, that's a very interesting mechanic, and it's gonna be very punishing when she finally defeats two of your characters. So, look out. I hope I will see you guys in Dragon Ball FighterZ once it releases. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. See ya!